Hey ladies, so I am here to go over one of the most important aspects of your business, booking parties. And so this is our power booking plan. Something I'm going to go over is booking your parties, coaching them, and just kind of, like what that process looks like. And so something that I live by is this power booking plan. And so the power booking plan, it is a great tool. Sorry about that. In just tracking your parties, doing your follow-ups. Because what you might not know is that 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. And so sometimes, you reach out to a lead, they don't respond, and you're just like, man, I don't want to be annoying, so I don't want to, call them again or text them again. But you have to understand, think about how busy you are. Think about, the text messages that kind of just fall through the cracks. Totally didn't mean to ignore them, but you did. You thought you replied. And so that happens. That happens to our leads. And so you always want to follow up with them. And so with this power booking plan, as you can see on here, there is a place for you to write their name and where you met them. So if you got them warm chatting somewhere, met them at the mall, whatever, their phone number, and then you write the date that you contact them. And then you can write, if you want to be very specific, you can write you call them, you sent a text, whatever. But the power booking plan is basically you are following up every 4 days. So you'll contact them on day 1, day 4, day 7, day 11, 2 weeks, 2 months after that. In the notes section, this is where I write the time and date that they booked their appointment, or if they tell me that they need me to follow up with them, I'll write follow up next week, follow up next month, follow up in 2 months, whatever that note needs to be. And so I track all my parties on here, and that is how I can, anytime that I have leads, I don't keep track of those little papers. They go everywhere, but I can keep that in my notebook because then if I'm, at the doctor's office waiting something, I can just pull out my notebook and do some follow-ups, send out some text messages. So the power booking plan has amazing scripts that you can use for new consultant, friends and family referrals, lead boxes. You have a script, so you don't even have to come up with what to say to these people, which makes it very, very easy and less stress on you. Also, objections that may come up. So let's say someone says they're too busy, they don't know who to invite, they use Clinique, whatever. At the end of this power booking plan, you'll also get things to say to overcome those objections. And so I think this is a powerful tool because obviously you have to book parties in order to sell the product, in order to find potential recruits. And so it all comes from here after you get your leads. Now, after you book your parties, there is, a process that you want to follow to make sure these parties hold. And that is where your power coaching plan comes into effect. And so booking the party is one thing, but you got to make sure that party holds. Otherwise, it's a waste of your time because people forget. Sometimes they don't think you're serious. Whatever the reason is, it is your responsibility to coach this party. So after you've booked them, the next thing that I do is I tell them that I'm going to follow up with them in a couple of days to get their guest list and to confirm their appointment. And so I think it's super crucial to get their guest list usually within the first 48 to 72 hours after you book them, because then they're going to get people invested. They're going to, their guests are going to add this to their calendar. And so it increases your hold. It increases the hold ratio of the parties when you get their guest list. If you wait until a day before the party to get their guest list, sometimes that party will cancel simply because they forgot to invite guests. So get the guest list within 48 to 72 hours of booking them. Once you do that, my next step is I'm going to reach out to the guest, just introduce myself, make sure that she has invited them, and I let them know that I'm going to follow up with them, just ask them some skincare questions, probably around like 5 days before the party, in between that time. So 5 days before the party, I will pre-profile them, and that's where I ask them, what is your skin type? Dry, oily, combination, or normal? Do you have any kind of skincare concerns? Is there anything that you're interested in learning or trying? Have you ever tried Mary Kay before? And then I ask them their eye color as well. That way I can get a color card, which a color card is just a sample of our eyeshadow, lipstick, and blush, and it is tailored to their eye type or their eye color. And that way I can have that set up for them, so when I'm closing people out, they are putting on their makeup. And then 2 days before the appointment, 2 to 1 day before, I'll confirm one more time. So excited to see you tomorrow at so-and-so's beauty experience at 4 o'clock. We're going to have such a great time. Did you have any questions, any concerns? Yada, yada, yada. So this also has some scripts that you can use. I don't use these, but you are welcome to if you find something that really resonates with you. But these two right here, booking, coaching, this is like the meat and potatoes. This is where it's going to start. This is what's going to get you going. After you've booked them, one really great tool that I like to use is our full circle coaching sheet. I think this is a great tool for new consultants because one, it's going to track your party, the guest list if you pre-profile them, but also gives you some to-dos so that you can do your follow-ups, because follow-up is key. When you don't follow up, you leave a lot of money on the table. There are plenty of times where I follow up with guests or my hostess, and they end up shopping more with me and adding more products to their order. You want to follow your 2x2x2. Follow up 2 days after, 2 weeks after, 2 months after. To 1, get more sales. 2, to book for second appointments. And 3, to get reorders at that 2-month mark. Entering them into your Mary Kay in Touch, doing your weekly accomplishment sheets. This is going to help you do all of that. And then if anyone that was on here didn't make it to the appointment, you can follow up with them. You can write a note, so-and-so couldn't make it because of her kids or whatever. So I really love this tool. I love all of these tools just to keep me on top of my bookings, to make sure my parties hold, and just to have a more successful turnout. And so before you do your bookings, have an amazing attitude. You need to expect the results that you want to have. And so I don't ever go into my bookings thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm probably not going to book anybody today, but let me just do this. And that's not the attitude you want to have. You want to be excited about those bookings. You want to be like, man, I'm so excited. I'm going to book 10 parties today. Knowing that you're going to hold so and so many, but you got to have a good attitude. You got to be passionate about booking. Get on fire about booking those parties. Get on fire about the results that come from booking those parties, the sales, the recruits, the building of your business. Just like even that girl time, just get excited about all of that. And just be very intentional. And so moving this around. Like this is like my Mary Kay work binder. I have everything in here. But this is what it looks like. So I have all my leads. Tons of leads at my fingertips at all times of the day. That way I can stay on top of my bookings. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I feel like I need to share? But I think that's it. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, reach out to Christy. We both have, really great systems. really great resources for you ladies. And so, happy booking!